You are looking at the perfect bite of shakshuka, a soft, runny egg yolk spilling into a thick, spiced tomato and pepper sauce, ready to be scooped up with a piece of crusty bread. It is a classic North African dish that solves several common cooking problems at once. It's naturally gluten-free, relies mostly on standard pantry staples, and builds a massive amount of flavor without dirtying a mountain of dishes. By keeping the entire cooking process confined to a single skillet, the ingredients are forced to interact and reduce together. You get a rich, cohesive meal, and at the end of the night, you only have one pan to wash. To execute this properly, you only need 2 pieces of hardware: a wide, heavy-bottomed skillet, like cast iron or stainless steel, and a lid that fits tightly over it. The core ingredients are straightforward. You need 4 to 5 fresh eggs, a can of whole peeled tomatoes, diced onions, and sliced bell peppers, and a specific warming spice blend. That blend includes cumin, smoked paprika, coriander, and a bit of red pepper flakes or harissa paste. Before you even turn on the stove, you must have all of these ingredients chopped, measured, and staged by the pan. This preparation method is called mise en place. Shakshuka moves quickly once the heat is on. If you stop to chop a pepper or hunt for the cumin while the pan is hot, your aromatics will scorch. Prepping everything up front guarantees you remain in control of the temperature from start to finish. Step 1 is building the flavor base. Place your skillet over medium heat, add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and drop in the diced onions and sliced bell peppers. Let them cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. You're watching for the onions to become soft and translucent, and for the edges of the peppers to show a slight caramelization. Once you see that browning, it's time to integrate the heavy flavors. Stir in the minced garlic, a tablespoon of tomato paste, and your pre-measured spices. The moment these hit the pan, keep them moving. Use your spoon to constantly stir the paste into the vegetables, so the spices bloom in the hot oil, rather than sticking to the bottom of the skillet. This is the most common point of failure. Garlic burns fast. If left sitting against the hot metal for too long, it turns black and infects the entire dish with a harsh, bitter flavor. You only need exactly 1 minute of continuous sautéing. As soon as the mixture turns dark red and smells deeply fragrant, the phase is over. You've now created a concentrated, heavily spiced paste. Every spoonful of the final sauce will draw its depth directly from this foundation. Next, pour in the 14-ounce can of tomatoes. If you are using whole peeled tomatoes, crush them down with the back of a wooden spoon so they mix with the spiced base. Now is the time to season generously with salt and black pepper. Reduce your heat to medium-low. Leave the skillet uncovered and let the mixture simmer for 10 to 12 minutes, stirring occasionally. We cook this down for the viscosity rule. Left is a thin liquid, right is a thick base. Raw egg whites drop in. They spread wildly and dissolve in the thin liquid. The thick structure holds them tightly in place to cook evenly. While it thickens, taste the sauce. Canned tomatoes can be overly tart. If yours are, stir in a tiny pinch of sugar to neutralize the acidity, and adjust the salt if needed. Boiling off that excess moisture transforms the tomatoes from a loose soup into a sturdy foundation. Hitting this specific thickness is what guarantees your eggs will hold their shape. Now that the sauce is thick and bubbling, use the back of a spoon to press 4 or 5 distinct wells directly into the mixture. Crack exactly 1 fresh egg directly into each well. Spacing them out in these indentations ensures the whites stay separated instead of pooling together into one large sheet. Here is how the actual cooking works. Keep the heat low and immediately cover the skillet with a tight-fitting lid. This illustrates the steam trap mechanic. Steam rises from the sauce, hits the lid, and rolls back down over the eggs. This cooks them evenly from the top down. The ambient heat sets the white solid without driving harsh bottom heat, keeping yolks soft. This process moves fast. Let them cook covered for exactly 5 to 8 minutes. You are looking for whites that are fully opaque and set to the touch, and yolks that still have a soft, covered dome. By relying on that trap steam rather than the direct heat of the burner underneath, you protect the delicate yolks while ensuring the whites are fully safe to eat. The second those whites are set, pull the skillet entirely off the stove. Cast iron holds heat for a long time, and leaving it on a hot burner will overcook the eggs through residual heat. Verify they are done with a gentle shake for the jiggle test. The white borders hold firm, while the yolk centers still bounce slightly. To finish the dish, scatter a handful of freshly chopped cilantro or parsley over the top. If you eat dairy, add a layer of crumbled feta cheese for a salty contrast against the tomatoes. By controlling the heat to build a thick, spiced base and using trapped steam to gently poach the eggs, you've produced a bright, deeply flavored meal right out of the pan.